Welcome to another exciting edition of Studio Q. We have a treat for you today because today we're interviewing the Prince of Sophistication, Mr. Will Downing himself. He's got a new album out called Euphoria, and we're gonna talk all about it. Plus, I'm so excited because out of all the awesome people we get to interview, my mom actually knows who he is. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. Sit back, relax, and stay tuned. Will Downing, up next.
I mean, you're really good.
Oh, good.
I don't like you. You're too good. They're hard questions. Too high. What's going on? It's me, your man, Will Downing, and you're watching Studio Q.
Studio Q show. Now you know. I just feel like I know this brother. I mean, we just met, but I mean, we're cracking jokes.
That's right.
I mean, you know, I was getting my vocals ready because trust and believe I will be singing a note because I know all y'all want to sing a note with Mr. Will Downing. Yeah, you know I'm a little sick.
Yeah, that's that old church thing. Yeah,
I'm Rachelle Ferrell.
I'm not doing the best I can what I got. You know, praise the Lord. What's up, Brooklyn?
Brooklyn. I'm Brooklyn in the house. We got a private joke
Brooklyn
already.
Easy for sheezy.
So how you been doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
How's LA treating you?
LA is LA. It's, you know, we're here and LA
got some of our rain.
Yeah, thank God y'all needed it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I thought people were gonna start moving back east. I was like, don't let them come here. Rain, Lord, give them rain.
Well, I have been all entrenched in Will Downing's music. You know, you didn't make me feel all kinds of ways.
Hey, family show. It's family show. Keep it.
25, 26 years of music. I mean, come on. I mean, I might be here because of your music.
Family show. Family show.
So I want to know, like, when you first started out, how difficult was it to be true to yourself when you had, you know, record executives telling you to change who you were, your sound, and everything?
Well, it was weird because I had big records overseas first. Yeah. I mean, we released it worldwide, but my bigger records came over in Europe. And so they loved one thing, the States didn't like another. So then the people in Europe were saying, okay, do another record like this record. And the people in the States were, don't do that nonsense, give us something else. So it was a very interesting you know, way of recording. So that's why the records are so diverse. Like the first album I had, which was self-titled Will Downing, we had like dance stuff on there, like house stuff, and then it'd be house, and then you'd hear a smooth song, and you'd hear a jazz song, and then you hear another up-tempo song. So kind of hills and valleys. But
didn't, like, you have an argument with Chris Blackwell about
damn that internet. That one's supposed to get out. I'm under a gag order.
What I'm just trying to zero in is the confidence that you had in Will Downing at such a young age.
Well, I certainly bet on me, and thank God I was right. Yeah. But yeah, I did have an argument with the president of the label at the time, and he wanted me to do like an all-dance record because I had a big dance record in Europe. And I said, hey man, I want to do something else. And we kind of got into a nice exchange, and we exchanged unpleasantries, and you know, might have been a couple of, you know, stupid ignorance in there, and you know, going back and forth. He says, okay, well, I'll let you do a record, but I'm taking half of your budget. And if you can make a record like that, you know, then you got it. Then I guess you'll prove your point. And so I took the money that they gave me and I made a dream fulfilled back in 1991. So,
wow. Yeah. So I'm glad you bet on you.
I'm glad, always bet on black.
You've done so many songs by so many different artists. And what is the key to making a song your own? You know, instead of just duplicating the one before?
Well, I mean, it's easy to take a song and to remake it. To make it your own is tough. For me, and it's going to sound crazy, I have two things that I ask myself. One is, if I do a song by a female artist, I feel like I'm doing the male equivalent of what they're trying to say. So like a song like Angela Bofield's I Try. You know, sometimes women only think that they're the only ones who try in a relationship, but you know, men do as well. So I give the male interpretation of that song. The other thing I look at is in my mind, I can hear myself singing that song in a different way. And those are my two reasonings as to why I do remakes and how I do them. If you're going to do a remake, please bring something to the table.
Right. Now, you've been on Sophisticated Soul. I'm with the Prince of Sophisticated Soul.
The Prince, the president.
On the label.
That's right.
Sophisticated Soul. And I'm sure it's a different experience being on an independent label. Do you ever regret leaving the big label?
At the moment, no. At the moment, I'm good. You know, it's a lot more work, but I'm good with it. I'm really good with it. It's something that I probably should have done a long time ago, but I'm fine with it.
What can you do now that you couldn't do then, that you really appreciate doing now, being an independent artist?
Now I get to see what really happens behind the scenes, as opposed to someone calling to tell me what happened. And so, why didn't this record do well? Well, we did everything that we could. Man, they just don't like this. The vocal wasn't this, that, and the other. It could have been this, that, and it's like, why is it always my fault when things don't go well, but when things go well, it's something that someone else did? Right. So that bothered me a lot. So that's one thing that I can say, that I'm happy I'm independent and I get to see exactly what goes on. I form relationships with people, real relationships. They get to know that I'm a real person and not just an artist.
Yeah, because you're so talented. I mean, before we started this interview, you were doing the lighting.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been having so many hidden talents that you could have been aiding in your career this whole time.
When you leave, I'm going to hit those windows. Get that Windex. Whatever pays the bills.
And all that you've learned since being in the industry for 25, 26 years, what would you tell a 19-year-old Will Downing?
Learn your craft. For a young up-and-coming artist, learn the craft. Don't just think. A lot of people now think that they can just turn the TV on and instantaneously become a star. It's like, if I can be one of the last 5 or 6 people on that TV show, then I'm a star. I mean, no, put in the work, sing background vocals, write songs, join groups, sing around, that sort of thing. So that's real important. And
you started off as a background singer.
I started as a background singer, yeah.
What did you learn that has made you a better solo artist?
Everything.
Really?
Everything. I learned what to do and what not to do. Wow. I would watch the people that I'd be singing behind. I'd watch them, have great nights, the way they handled the crowd. And then I would watch them some nights have terrible nights. And I would say, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that. Or I'm not going to wear that. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to, so you really learn that way at someone else's expense. And then, being around for such a long time, you start to get a catalog of songs that people want to hear. And that always helps. So, people out there singing along with you. When you're doing your thing.
Well, one of my favorite duets is the one that you did with Rachelle Ferrell. How did that even come about, and what is it like singing with Rachelle Ferrell?
Well, it's interesting because initially it was between me and Phil Perry as to who was going to be the other vocalist. Just one of those things, and somehow I won out. And singing with Rachelle was probably the hardest session I've ever done, but also one of the best sessions I've ever done.
What made it hard?
She had an exact idea of what she wanted.
Okay.
And she made sure that I gave it to her exactly the way she heard it. I mean, now she was like, oh, no. I mean, we were doing a session and I sang something and she said, you need to sing it the way Will Downing would sing it. It's like, I am Will Downing. That's the way I would. How did you hear me singing it? No, I need you to take a breath here, and I need you to just like, oh, okay. And I thought it was crazy at first, but then when we heard the final product, I was like, damn, that sounds like Will Downing.
She really kind of pushed you in a different.
Yeah. We worked on that song literally for 2 days.
Is that something that's out of the norm?
Yeah, I'm used to doing a lead vocal. I mean, a good one or a great one that I'm like, okay, I ain't got no problems with it, no regrets. About 3 hours, yeah.
So that was putting in some
2 days,
work.
like, oh, so yeah, when we come back tomorrow, like, tomorrow.
So if you guys had to do that just to record it, what was it like, when you guys performed it live?
We would take it to way out there. I mean, we would obviously do the song, and then we would just go with whatever the emotion, kind of where it led us.
The way you felt that night.
And I know But I'm the only man you see. Yeah. I love you. I love my life with you. We share a life together. I love you right now and forever.
Well, you said songs and music are supposed to take you on a journey. It's supposed to transport you. Where do you go when you're on stage performing, or versus being in the studio?
It depends on where the audience takes you. You know, if they're into it, it can really go anywhere. You know, you take it left. I mean, if they wanted to hear the song exactly like the recording, they would have just stayed home and listened to the recording. So when it's live, you know, you got to bring something new to the table.
And what is that feeling of being on stage with you know, just a wonderful audience who's coming out to see you, sold out crowd?
Oh, what's it feel like?
Yeah.
It's the greatest feeling in the world.
Really?
When there's folks out there on your side. Yeah, there's no feeling like it. When you start singing a song and folks start singing along with you, it's the best feeling ever. You know that you did your job right.
And it doesn't get old.
Oh no, not like that.
Yeah.
No, it gets old when folks are sitting there and they got their hand like this and they're just looking at you like, you know, okay, that same thing he sang on the record. Y'all ain't going. So.
And what's the difference between singing for people home versus like in Europe or overseas?
It's different. I'm not going to say that people here are less appreciative, but I think that people in America are very singles driven. So whatever they hear on the radio constantly is all they want to hear. When you go overseas, like, you know, we've recorded 10 songs sometimes, or 12 songs on an album. They're into the other 10 or 8 songs, you know, that weren't singles. And we went to South Africa one time, and I had like my standard show, and you know, went on radio, and they were like, "Yeah, are you gonna sing, you know, song 4 off of CD number 5?" I was like, I said, "Yeah, which one is that?" And I looked at it, I was like, "Oh damn, I don't think I've sung this song since I recorded it." And they're like, "Well, it's a big hit here." And I'm like, "You're kidding, right? You have got to be kidding."
Yeah.
And we had to learn the song that night. Actually, the first night we didn't do it, and people got mad.
Really?
And then the promoter came up to me and said, "Hey man, tomorrow, if you do this tomorrow, you know, they're gonna tear this place apart if you don't do this song." So we had to learn it and do it.
Well, that must be a good feeling, because I don't think sometimes people realize just how much you put into your music. So the fact that people overseas really can appreciate that 9th or 10th song, you know.
It is a good feeling. I mean, it's, you know, we spend lots of money on it. I put lots of work into it and to make it what it is, and yeah, it should be appreciated like that.
When you put out Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, what was the response of putting it out that way? Because I know you did it based on how people listen to music now.
It was funny. I mean, like, folks of my age weren't accustomed to hearing songs in increments like that. Like, basically what I done was 4 songs on each CD.
Right.
And my generation is not used to that. They're used to an album. It worked in one regard, and in another regard it didn't.
Okay. Okay, I was wondering about that, because that was a unique way of doing it.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah. Now, shifting gears, back in 2007, you were diagnosed with the muscle disease.
Let me hear you say it. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Okay. Polymyositis. Did I say it? Did I do it?
You?
Oh, I get the cigar today.
You get the cigar. That was. You did. You got it right.
Well, I mean, I just applaud you from coming back from something like.
Don't applaud me.
Well, yeah. But you had to stay connected to the source. You had to stay connected because you could have let go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have went another way because I know depression is a part of it.
Oh yeah.
And you have to fight not just a physical, but you know your mind.
It's a mental thing. Yeah.
But what I would like to know in connection to the music, when you were in the hospital, why was it so important for you to still record from a wheelchair or in the bed?
I had to prove to myself first off that I can do it. Then on top of that, this is all I've ever done, really. So, and then the third thing is I thought it'd be the last thing that folks were gonna hear, because I thought I was out of here. So I didn't want like the last recording to be like my legacy. You know, I didn't want to leave here without saying something, you know, that was really on my heart. And when you're being tested like that and you laying on your back and you got plenty of time to think and talk, you kind of and reflect, you kind of go, you know what, maybe I didn't really say what I wanted to say, so let this be my last testimony. I don't care really what it sounds like. Put the microphone down, let me just do the best that I can and get this message across.
And how many hours are parts of the day that you would do that?
I can't even count them.
Really?
Because it was so sporadic. Like, you know, we'd say, okay, I'm gonna do this song this day. You might get one line. You might get one word. And then I'd be like, oh, you know what, I'm tired, man. Let me just lay down for a little bit. Lay down for a couple hours. All right, let's start back up. Put me in the wheelchair. They put me in the wheelchair. And I start singing from there. They say, okay, this sounds a little bit better. It's like, okay, well, let me fix that other stuff. And I start singing and then fade away again. So it was like a grueling process. It was grueling. But my friends and everybody in my family, you know, couldn't ask for anything more.
How did it make you feel at the end of a day? Did it feed you by being able to do it?
Well, I'm a fighter, so if I got something right, then that was hope to me. And okay, well, let's try this again tomorrow. You know, maybe I'll get 2 things right. Maybe I get, and that was also the process in the physical therapy as well. You know, like you're laying there, and then you know one day you can't move your hand, the next day you see your finger move. It's like, oh, I'm coming back. You know, and 2 days later you move 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and you're doing your hand. It's like, oh, my man, my man, you're all right with me, and it just gives you hope every day.
What did that time teach you about yourself and about your marriage?
About me, it made me realize how much tunnel vision I had. I was living my life just like this with blinders on. All I was thinking was music and money. Music, money. And when you're laying on your back and you know you have time to reflect and think back about what life was really about or supposed to be about, it kind of broadened everything for me. And I said, I'm never gonna be that dude again. You ever got to worry about it just being this. And it's like, hey, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna lay down, go to the movies, you know, spend more time with my kids, spend more time with my wife, my parents, you know, grateful that they're alive, my family, you know, go to the movies occasionally, do something like what life is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be lived. It made me remember what I really got into this for. It wasn't just for money.
When you finally got better and you could sing and you could walk with ease, what was like the first thing you was excited to do?
Family show, right?
Well, what's the second thing you was excited to do?
Yes. Yes. I have another friend of mine who lives near me, and I remember saying this to him. He reminded me. I said it to him. I said, man, the first thing I want to do when I'm able to get up on my own is go to the bathroom by myself. Because for about a year, someone had to pick me up and put me on a potty, like next to the hospital bed, for a year. Imagine every time you gotta go to the bathroom, you gotta push a button, ring a bell, hey man, can you help me? And they gotta help you up, and they sit you there, and you sitting in there. I'm sitting in the hospital, or even in, like when I finally got back home, I'm sitting in my home, and I'm sitting on a potty, and the door is open, and I'm sitting there, and I can't move, I can't nothing. I just gotta sit there until someone's and come and get me. They had to wipe you off and all that. That is, it's emasculating. Yeah. So I said, man, when I get my strength up, the first thing I'm gonna go to the bathroom by myself. And then after that, when I started getting a little bit of my strength back, I wanted to like drive. and the same guy named Noel. He was dropping me off and picking me up for everything. And then one day he asked me, man, what is it that you missed that you haven't done? I was like, man, I don't even know if I remember how to drive anymore. And he was bringing me home from someplace, and he pulled over, and he got out the car, and he, came and walked me to the driver's side, man, just said,
what did that feel like? What did that drive feel like?
I felt like it was the first time I was driving in my whole life. And I got behind the wheel, and I was like, yes! Yes! And I went to go turn it, I was like, ah, God! I ain't that strong yet.
But you turned it.
The turn was here. I turned over here. So he had grabbed the wheel and pulled. I was like, yeah, I got it. Right. Okay, just pull it this way a little bit. All right, okay, cool, we're going straight now. But no, he let me drive, and it was like, yeah. I mean, so it's crazy moments like that you kind of go.
And it's amazing like how small the moments are that you're like relishing in that you can do again. So how do you feel now? Like, what does it feel like now? Because to me,
now I want people to drive me around. I want people to wipe my butt,
Back to old Will.
I mean, some of it's still there. I mean, I find myself being pulled back in. But at some point, it always kicks back in. Like, okay, this ain't that serious. Just stop. Enjoy life. Take some time off. Say no. You can say no if you want to. You don't want to do it, say no.
You've been doing music for, what, 26 years now? This is your 17th project that we're on. What do you think that has kept you relevant? Because I read somewhere that you have people who do what you do, call you from time to time, more often than not, and say, what are you doing, that I'm not doing? How can you help me? So how have you remained so relevant, in the music industry and selling out shows?
Because the person that you listen to now is the same person that started recording 26 years ago. When everyone was saying, man, you doing that old school stuff, man, you doing that jazz stuff, you doing them songs, man, let me tell you something you need to do. And I've seen all the music trends come and go. You need to do some new jack, you need to do some go-go. You need to do some house. You need to, and I would add little elements, but I always made sure that I had a great ballad on there or great mid-tempo songs, because those songs last forever. So, I always tell people it was the tortoise that won the race. You might have gotten, to that place a little faster. You might have made a little bit more money than I did real fast, but long term,
nothing beats still being around.
Nope. They call me, hey man, I heard you doing a show. Man, how do you? Like, I told you, you should have followed what I was doing. You should have came along.
So with the trends and everything, is it that you did not want to be, you didn't want to change with the trends, or this was your lane and you knew it? Which one? It was
my lane and I knew it, and like I said, I dibbed and dabbed in a little bit of all of that. I remember, when I did have hair, I had like a little high top fake fade, a little thin right here, my Gumby,
Well, I was thinking that. I was thinking, did you have the Bobby Brown Gumby?
The Gumby, the big shirts with the big polka dots on it, strange color suits and stuff like that. Trying to do the running man. I feel like an idiot. So, I always had my ballads to fall back on.
So you just stuck with who you were.
There you go.
But I mean, it seems very consistent to how you started out.
Yeah. Nobody can be you but you. So I'm here. I'm happy with me.
Yeah. Well, tell us about this new album, Euphoria.
I like the way that comes along with Euphoria.
Yeah, I read that you said somebody listened to it and they said it took them to a euphoric state.
Yeah.
And so you said that's a perfect.
That's perfect, because I'm not that bright. So when they said that, I'm like, yes. Yeah, I played it for a friend of mine, and she said that's what it did to her. So I said Euphoria, and it's a bunch of songs on there that you would know and you would love, or maybe your mom might know and love. Because we already talked about that.
Right. Yeah, my mom. This is one of the few people that I've interviewed some people, but Will Downing, she's like, oh, Will Downing.
That's right. That's right.
Now you interviewing somebody.
Right. Me and Lil Weezy. We are her two favorites.
Right. She said, now you're talking about somebody who's in my collection.
There you go. That's right. You tell your mom I don't know her, but I like her already.
So
yeah,
tell us about Euphoria.
Euphoria. 8 songs, 7 of which you are pretty much gonna know. We started out with the Teddy Pendergrass "Turn Off the Lights" and kind of flipped it a little bit. Everyone knows the Teddy version. You know, turn them off. You know, the in your face kind of thing. I kind of swim. Turn off the lights.
Yeah,
you know,
we heard it last night.
It
It was
a little bit.
Dopeness.
Thank you. I gotta use dopeness.
But why Teddy Pendergrass? Why that song?
I don't know. I just heard it in my head once again. You know, and also the lyric, you know, meant something to me. So I just thought that I could do a version of it, an interpretation.
So 8 songs.
Too High, Stevie Wonder. I can't identify with that song personally, but just a great song that I heard, and I just heard this arrangement in my mind, and we just did it.
And what was the feeling behind this record, like this whole album? What space were you in recording it?
I wanted to go back to my original roots. When I recorded songs or albums like A Dream Fulfilled, they were definitely more contemporary jazz records with kind of R&B overtones. And then over the years I've kind of done more R&B records with jazz overtones. So I said, let me go back to the originals, make it very jazzy, add some soul elements to it, and that's, you know, what I tried to accomplish.
Well, what song on the album takes Will Downing to Euphoria?
Probably there's a song on the album called Lush Life.
Okay.
And it's a classic jazz song. So to me, that's, you know, that's where it takes me.
Takes you there.
Takes me there.
Takes you there. You're about that life of music for real. You put out a lot of music.
I take those old sayings to heart. Tomorrow's not promised. And if you have something that's on your heart right at that moment, then do it. That's the joy of having your own label. I don't have to, another thing to add to your list. That's the joy of it. I don't have to go to someone and say, I have a budget to record. I got some ideas for some music. You know, you got your own label, you got your own money. Just do it.
Yeah.
It's a YouTube generation. This stuff turns around, you know,
so
by the time you put something out, you know, 3 weeks later, it's, oh, what you got next? So it's like, I give them something new. Why not?
Are you even feeling the internet, Twitter, Facebook? Are you down with the technology, or is it a chore?
I'm all over. It is work. It is work. You know, say, hey, I'm at the show and about to go on stage, and then someone replies, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna sing this song. What are you wearing? Well, I'm gonna wear. It's like, okay, can I go sing? I mean, you know, instead of me answering I'm in the bathroom. See, I just flushed.
He ain't down. He ain't down with the Twitter world. He said it's too much work.
This is way too. Instagram, you know, somebody's over there. Take a picture of me. Put it on Instagram. Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm doing an interview. I just finished the interview. Now I'm changing my clothes to go do this. We're over here.
That's
like,
true.
When do I get to sing?
Yeah, that's true.
So when do you get to be the Will Downing that's popular, you know, to be on Twitter? So once again, balance.
But I love the wind down that you do. That's nice.
Thank you.
You said, I'm going to put some good music out there. Not going to complain about it. I'm going to put some nice music that people can feel.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm a complainer. I'm a person that complains about the 30 or 40 records that I hear every day on your standard radio. So I said, I'm going to do my own radio show.
Yeah.
And play records that I think people have not heard or should hear more of.
And it's nice. I love it. I love it. Well, now we have come to the Studio Q Will Downing lightning round. So, yeah.
Wait a minute, let me get my drink.
Yeah, get your drink on. Brooklyn Borough Chorus or Wally Jump in the Criminal Element on Criminal Records.
We'll take Brooklyn Borough White Chorus for 200. Okay. You weren't even supposed to bring up Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal Element. That was pre-solo career. So actually, those 26 years that I'm talking about is actually more like 30 years.
Okay.
Because I was recording before that, and I used to, for those who don't know, I used to make up these, I used to do 12-inch records, and we'd make up alias names. So I had a record on Criminal Records. And the name of the group, yeah, I know, called Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal Element. And our biggest record was, we did a remake of Gwen Guthrie's Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent.
And y'all reply was,
ain't gonna pay you one red cent.
But it was popular. It was huge overseas, right?
That was the most embarrassing thing. If you look at the album cover, we have on hats and dark glasses.
Oh,
that's
wow.
how you know, ashamed we were. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna take a picture for the album cover. Like, yeah, let me get my hat. Yeah, let me put these glasses on. All right, let's go. Let's
Let
shoot.
me turn to the side.
Let me turn to the side. Yeah.
So it's Brooklyn Borough Chorus. That's
Brooklyn Borough
Chorus
was that one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sad and So Distracted by Al Jarreau, or John Coltrane's Love Supreme.
Sad and So Distracted, Al Jarreau.
Early mornings or late nights?
Can't have both, huh?
Then it's not a lightning round.
Yeah, damn. Man, sounds just like a woman. Early morning or late at night. Pick one. Us tomorrow.
You know what? I'm glad we on the internet.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be tomorrow. Maybe. Now, if it doesn't work tomorrow, can I get two late at night? Let's say early mornings.
Early mornings? All right. Okay. Will Dowling's Guilty Pleasure. Great segue.
Oh, guilty pleasure. Sports.
Sports.
I mean, watching sports, yeah.
Any particular sport?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Who's your team?
New Jersey Nets.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I know.
Yeah,
I know
well,
the folks out there. God damn.
Well, everybody
all the
has to
teams
have
in the
fans.
league, you know.
Everybody has to have fans.
Everybody has to have fan. You must not make it plural.
Yeah.
Singular. There he is.
Singular.
There's the fan.
All right. You only have the opportunity to record a duet with one of these following individuals.
Okay.
Layla Hathaway, Jasmine Sullivan, or Anita Baker.
Oh. Dang. Man, that's a tough one. Man, that is a tough... I mean, woman, that's a tough one. My God. I'm going to have to go with Anita Baker, because she's the senior of the three.
Yeah. They've emulated her. They love her. Yeah.
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of, yeah. So
they love her.
Yeah, we love her. Yeah. I mean, they all three got their own vibe. True. But I mean, you picked one from the past, and you picked a President Jasmine and Layla, and the future is Jasmine, definitely. Okay,
Anita Baker won that round.
Ding, 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 ding.
Crazy Love by Dwight Thompson, or A Million Ways by Joe?
A Million Ways by Joe.
Okay. Platinum record or Grammy Award?
Platinum record.
Favorite curse word?
It has 4 letters. How about that?
Use your imagination.
It rhymes with puck.
Okay. It doesn't get any plainer than that. R&B or jazz?
Man, you a tough interview. I'm gonna say jazz.
All right.
A little bit more freedom.
Luther Vandross.
Oh, ultimate.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Soulful.
Rachelle Ferrell.
Amazing vocalist.
Audrey Wheeler.
Crazy. No. Wife.
And what makes Will Downing happy?
Talking to you.
Boy, he's a charmer. He's a charmer. Well, how can all of your wonderful fans connect with you to buy this new album coming out March 11th, Euphoria?
Actually, it's March 25th. We had to move it back.
We had to move it back. Okay.
Yeah.
Just your upcoming
There we go.
album.
Sometime in March.
Sometime in March. Where can they go and get Euphoria?
Then come to the website, willdowning.com. You can order it there and I'll autograph it and get it out to you. Or you can go to, if people still go to stores, Best Buy, you can order it on Amazon, you can download it on iTunes, all the outlets. It'll be at the barbershop probably 2 days before it comes out. The beauty salon. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For sitting down and letting us find out more about you.
You were good.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you're really good.
Oh, good.
I don't like you. You're too good. Them hard questions. My favorite word. Pop! Pop!
Studio Q Show. Now you know.